Hey guys, what do you think of one of my workbooks? It's pretty cool one actually. Found it at Kmart. Wow, flurry of people. It must be a good time to do a scope. To be honest, I am doing this scope now for a number of reasons. One, my website has crashed. The server's gone down and I can't access it. So I thought, well, there's no time like the present to get out there and do a scope. But, hang on. So, yeah. Oh, yes. Not oh no's. Oh, yes. Yeah, I'm not happy. I'm applying the standard web rule of give it 5 minutes and go back and see if it works. Again, before I yell and scream at my host and threaten to leave them, because this is the second time it's gone down without any warning. So I'm not impressed, actually, considering it's coming into school holidays here where I am, and for the next 2 weeks I'm going to have my kids at home and I'm going to need to be able to get my shit out in front of my clients without having the whole mum. Don't need it. Anyway, now, before I get on topic, what I wanted to do, I need to have a little bit of a rant. And it's probably just the time that it is, and I'm not talking time of the month, I'm talking time of the day. What is it with people inviting me to watch scopes? Seriously, if you do not think that it will benefit your people, do not invite them to the scope. Seriously. I am so sick and tired of seeing scopes of car parks and people jamming and dancing, and I don't have time for that. And yes, I know I can dismiss it. I don't have to view it, but seriously, with my phone going off with notifications nearly blocked his hair, I didn't mean to. With my phone going off on notifications for all of these scopes, and I can't differentiate between when I'm being invited to view a scope and when it's actually someone broadcasting that I want to watch, it drives me batty. And I don't want to unfollow them because I actually like the content that they put out. It's just, you know what, I would like to have the option in Periscope of being able to choose the people who send me invitations. I want that ability. So there we go. I've got that off my chest. Done. Yeah, I'm glad I'm not alone because it's driving me batty. Seriously driving me batty. And it's this time of the day, and I've got to say it's just because the Americans get out there and decide that everyone needs to see their sunset, or everyone needs to see their car park, or everyone needs to see them do whatever. I don't need to, people. I don't need to. And if you keep doing it, I'm going to unfollow you. Seriously, that's just the way it goes. Right. Back on topic. Rant over. So what I was going to talk to you about is spelling online. And this is where I started with Right to Write back in the day, 18 months ago. So what there is this, and it still rages about whether or not spelling actually matters online. Now, what I'm going to do is, before I launch into this, if you know of anyone who you believe will benefit from this, please do invite them, because this is a serious business topic. There are serious tips in here. It is going to help them understand when and where and why spelling actually does matter. So if you don't know the drill, iOS swipe right to invite your friends, Android swipe up to invite your friends. Otherwise, the best tip that I can give you is this little person and the little numbers down in the corner. Press on that and share broadcast. And that means that when they decide that they're ready to watch this thing about spelling online, they can do it in their replay. So, spelling. Now, I grew up with my mum's dyslexic, so I used to have to do the spelling for her. So I kind of already feel that spelling is important anyway. And this comes from me being a proofreader and copy editor for the Australian government. I used to proofread and copy edit medico-legal documents, so 1,000-page decisions, on, thanks Sarah, 1,000-page documents on medico-legal decisions and determinations. Hey Sarah. So yeah, I do kind of have a vested interest, and yes, I have a position on whether or not I think spelling is important. But hi, Sarah. But hey, Johnny. So let me stop looking at who's joining. Johnny, if you didn't read it, what this is about is spelling online. This is coming. Hey, this is coming from my experience as a proofreader and copy editor in the Australian government. So if you know of anyone who is in business and who will benefit from, hey, Digital Chica, what is your name? Because I can't see what your name is. You benefit from spelling. Right. Well, then you need to listen to this. But Janelle, thank you, Sarah. It's your pet peeve. Thank you. Janella. Okay, hey, Janella. So, sorry, but I will go into that, funnily enough, Sarah. Doing a new website, lead page, right. So, spelling. So if you know of anyone who needs some help knowing when spelling is important, when it's not, please invite them. Yes, the Sarah. Yes, Janella, it is the Sarah. Please invite them to watch this Periscope. They can do it in their own sweet time. They can watch the replay. They can come on and join live and benefit from asking me questions. So, spelling. So I had to publish edit these 1,000-page medico-legal documents. They were published on the web. They were going out to the veteran community. They were being used in research, all of this kind of stuff. So this is where I'm coming from. But there are two schools of thought. One is that spelling doesn't matter online, and the other one is that it does, and it always matters. I will sit on the fence and say it depends. It depends. Now, Johnny, websites is one of those places where it does matter, and here is why. And there are two really good reasons. I do the hashtag, but my other hand's holding the phone. There are two really good reasons why you need to make sure your spelling and grammar is correct for your website. The first reason is the Google algorithm. And Google will product descriptions. Yeah, yep, absolutely. Product descriptions are where you need to have your spelling correct as well. So site-wide, it doesn't matter whether it's lead pages, whether it's opt-ins, whether it's your about, your testimonials, your product descriptions. It doesn't matter. Any page which is indexed with Google and is live on your website needs to have proper spelling. All of that. Exactly, Janella. It all needs to have proper spelling, and this is why. The Google algorithm. Google will downgrade your ranking of your website in its search results because of your poor spelling. If you cannot spell, get somebody to check it, and it doesn't have to be paying for it. You can get somebody else to check it. I get that you will look at the same page over and over and over again and not be able to pick up the spelling errors. I get that. Been there, done that, had my boss check stuff and go, oh my God, Cara, there's a spelling error in it. Happens. I seriously get that. But if your business, if you're in the business of making money, you rely on Google to get your goods out there, then you need to have good spelling. Otherwise, you're just not going to appear in the Google ranking. The second point about Google is this. So that applies to all of your web pages. Any public web page, you will need to make sure you have good spelling, proper spelling. The other thing is, and this is the bit that gets me, don't piss off the Google. No, seriously, Sarah, do not piss off the Google. And let's face it, yes, I know there are other search engines out there, but Google is by far the most used search engine worldwide. I hate Bing. I don't like it. So yes, you need to do it. Can you do this? Good night, Lucio. Poor spelling. Yes. And can I do this cast weekly? Well, what I will do, Janella, is I'm going to save this and I'm going to upload it to my YouTube channel. So that's Right to Write. And so you'll be able to access it, share it from there. Thank you. People don't just need to see it, Janella. They need to realise that it's serious stuff. They don't take spelling seriously. So, not just the Google algorithm. The next thing is that the Google search. So, if you don't spell words properly in your website, and your customer goes in and types in the product name or product description or your keywords into Google, into their Google search bar, Google autocorrects. But Google will only index for a match. So it's not going to autocorrect your website. It doesn't do that. So you have to do it so that you match, so that you are then shown in their results. It's one of those things. People say, oh, but it doesn't matter. Yeah, it does, because Google will autocorrect for your customer, but it won't autocorrect for you. So there's two things from Google. One, your algorithm. You don't get the spelling right, you're not going to get up there in the search results. Two, you don't get your spelling right, Google is not going to autocorrect your website for you. The third one, and this is what Janella just spoke about. They wonder why the sales are low. Exactly. So the other thing is that, sorry, I've got a notification going off on my phone and it's in my ear at the moment and I hope you can't hear it. So I'm going to try and... Right, sorry. It's just me. I can't handle weird sounds in my ear and constant Muppets. You did hear it. Oh dear. Sarah thinks it's earworm. I know Sarah from Buttontopia hates my Mana song. I love it. Phone on silent prior to casting. Good point. But will you be able to hear what I'm doing? I suppose you would. All right. See, I'm learning all of these tips as I go along. So the third thing, and this is a piece of research that I came across last year out of the UK. And this is, they did some testing with a whole heap of Britons about websites and spelling. And this applies to Australia, and I am fairly certain it will apply to the US equally, is that approximately 60% of people who see spelling and grammatical errors on a website will click away straight away. Like Janella said before, she'll close down a website that has a typo on it. So it's it's one of those things that can you afford to turn away 60% of your potential clients? I don't know anyone who can afford to turn away 60%, and I don't know of anyone who wouldn't like a good share of that 60% anyway. So it's crazy to say that spelling isn't important when Google's not going to rank you, it's not going to autocorrect you, and if you do eventually get somebody to your site, 60% of those people are going to go, oh, no, sorry, I just can't shop from you because you don't have the, I think it's and I know the words and I can't think of it, a focus on quality, a high enough focus on quality to actually pay that attention to your website. If you can't pay that attention, I'm trying to. If you can't pay that much attention to your website and make sure that your spelling's correct, why can't they sound ignorant? The people who, the website owners, the business sounds ignorant. It's not just that though, Janella. I think it's a quality thing. I think it's, if you're not going to pay that much attention to your business and your website and the front page of, the public face of your business, then how are you going to treat me as a client? If you don't have that respect and that level of detail on those things, then I'm sorry, but I'm just not going to shop with you, because clearly you're not going to treat me seriously. Maybe your product's dodgy if you can't pay enough attention to your spelling and your grammar. So they're the three reasons why it's important on your website. Anything that's indexed by Google, you need to have spelling up there because of the Google algorithm, Google auto-correcting searches, and the fact that 60% of people just won't shop with you anyway. Now, when it comes to social media, it doesn't really matter as much, okay? And this is where people get tripped up. They think that, and I see it all the time, grammar Nazis on Facebook. And I am a bit of a grammar Nazi. And yes, I am trying to get to terms with the fact that I can make a typo on the Right to Write page as a proofreader and copy editor, and the world will not come crashing down around my ears, okay? People have picked up spelling errors in images that I've done and stuff like that. And it's like, it's not indexed, for one. The actual image itself is not indexed, so it doesn't matter. It's all of the descriptions and the metadata that sits behind it, which is indexed. So it doesn't matter so much if on social media or on my images that there are typos. Yes, it looks bad, but my message gets across. No, look, Janella, it doesn't mean that you're crazy. And I suppose it depends on what the spelling error is. I think the thing that I focus on with social media is that it is social. And so it's more of and I'm not running big corporate social media profiles. If I was, and I do, I make sure with my clients' social media profiles, I don't make spelling errors on their posts that I put up for them. But then again, I schedule most of them, so that makes life a heck of a lot easier. And I tend to make most of my spelling errors if I'm using my phone for scheduling. That is when I tend to make the most errors. So, but really, I think it's about realising what your audience is there for at that time. And then, writing accordingly. So if it's your website or if it's something from Google, that's your serious business face, shop front for your for your business. You've got to make it polished. If it's social media, you're there building a relationship, connecting with your clients, having a chat, being sociable. I'm sure I've made a dozen grammatical errors in what I've said on this broadcast. I'm not particularly fussed because I'm getting my message across. So, that was it. That was all I had to say. Thank you for the hearts, Janella. And if you've got any questions, any tips that I have for proofreading and copy editing, my favourite one is to put it down and leave it, and then to come back to it the following day. That is that is my biggest hint for proofreading. So, and a hint for social media whilst I'm here, and Periscope. So, look, it's a sore spot of mine as well, Janella. So, So a tip for social media and Periscope is to use the website If This Then That. So it's www.ifttt.com, and you can set up recipes, and you can share from, if you announce on Twitter that you are about to do a Periscope, it will then, when you set up a recipe to share anything with the word Periscope in it, it will then share it to your Facebook profile. So your Facebook followers will be able to access the replay on the web. So yeah, there's my hints for spelling and websites and social media, and a little hint on Periscope. I love the tool too. I've got it silencing my phone every day. It's fantastic. All right, guys, so I will see you later. I will try and Skype next week, but as I said before, it's school holidays, so I shall grab you and see you when I can. Have a great weekend. Bye.